You know what's weird? Sometimes the people who change your life the most are the people who were never meant to stay. Last summer, I met a girl that I genuinely thought was going to become a huge part of my life. Not because she promised forever or anything like that. It was just the way everything happened. It felt effortless, like one of those moments where life finally throws something good your way. We met through mutual friends at a beach bonfire. I almost didn't even go that night. I remember thinking I'd rather stay home, but one friend kept insisting, so I went. She was sitting on a blanket with a group of people I didn't know, laughing louder than everyone else. At some point we started talking, then everyone else slowly drifted away until somehow it was just the two of us. We talked about music, travel, childhood memories, the dumbest fears we had as kids. I don't even remember exactly what we talked about anymore. I just remember thinking, I haven't laughed like this in a long time. The next morning, she texted me first. That was new. Usually, I was always the one chasing conversations. This time, she wanted to talk. Days turned into weeks. We started watching sunsets almost every evening. Not because sunsets are magical or anything. It just became our thing. We'd grab cheap iced coffee, sit on the same old bench overlooking the water, and stay there until it got dark. Some nights, we'd barely even talk. And honestly, those were my favorite ones because silence only feels comfortable around people you're actually comfortable with. Or at least, that's what I believed. One evening, she looked at me and smiled. She said, "I feel like I've known you forever." I smiled back. Inside, I was already imagining a future that didn't even exist yet. Funny how our minds do that. Give them one happy moment and they start writing an entire love story. Looking back, I think that's where I made my first mistake. I fell in love with potential, not reality. A couple weeks later, little things started changing. Nothing dramatic, nothing obvious, just small things. She canceled plans an hour before we were supposed to meet. I forgot I already promised someone else. She'd disappear for half a day, then come back like nothing happened. If I asked where she'd been, she'd laugh. Why are you overthinking everything? Eventually I stopped asking because every question somehow became my fault. Then came the comparisons. You know, my ex never got jealous. I wish you were more spontaneous. Little comments. Tiny enough to ignore, but big enough to stay in your head. And the worst part, I actually started changing, not because she asked me to, because I wanted things to go back to how they were. I'd reply faster, I'd cancel plans with friends just in case she wanted to hang out. I'd overthink every text before sending it. It sounds ridiculous now, but when you're emotionally invested, you don't notice yourself disappearing. It happens one compromise at a time. So one afternoon we planned to meet at our usual spot, the bench by the water. I got there early, bought her favorite drink, sat there waiting. 20 minutes, 30, an hour, nothing. Eventually she texted, sorry, something came up. No explanation, no apology that actually meant anything. Just maybe another time. I remember sitting there watching the sun disappear by myself, people walking past, couples laughing, kids throwing rocks into the water. And for the first time, I felt lonely. Even though technically nothing terrible had happened, that should have been enough for me to walk away. But it wasn't, because manipulators don't keep you around by being awful all the time. If they did, nobody would stay. Instead, right when you're about to give up, they become exactly who you fell for in the beginning. The next day she called me, sounded excited, wanted to see me, acted like yesterday never happened. And somehow that was enough. Everything reset. Again, months passed like that. Good days, bad days, mixed signals, confusion, hope, disappointment, repeat. Until one random afternoon, I opened Instagram, there she was, posting pictures with another guy. The same places she told me she was too busy to visit, the same sunset, the same cafes, the same smile. Except this time, it wasn't for me. When I finally confronted her, she didn't even seem guilty. She just shrugged. I never said we were serious. That sentence hurt more than anything else. Not because it was true, because she knew exactly how much I cared. She watched me invest months into something while keeping one foot out the door the entire time. For weeks after that, I blamed myself. Maybe I wasn't enough. Maybe if I'd been funnier, better looking, more confident, maybe she'd have stayed. But eventually, I realized something. The right person doesn't make you compete for basic respect. Love shouldn't feel like you're constantly taking an exam you never get to pass. If someone only gives you affection when they're afraid of losing you, that's not love. That's maintenance. If someone keeps making you question your own reality, that's not chemistry. That's manipulation. And here's the lesson I wish someone had told me before all of this. Never ignore consistency. People can fake chemistry, they can fake kindness, they can fake interest, but consistency, that's almost impossible to fake for long. Watch what people do when they have nothing to gain. Watch how they handle disappointment. Watch whether they respect your time, your feelings, your boundaries, because those little moments tell you far more than any "I miss you" text ever will. First EP, sometimes people enter your life to love you. Sometimes they enter your life to teach you what what love should never look like. I don't hate her anymore. Honestly, I hope she's doing okay, because holding on to anger only keeps you connected to someone you've been trying to forget. Instead, I took the lesson. I got my peace back. I stopped chasing people who gave me mixed signals. And strangely enough, the moment I stopped looking for someone else to complete me, I started feeling complete on my own. Maybe that's the real ending to this story. Not that I lost someone, but that I finally found myself again. And if you're listening to this while thinking about someone who made you question your worth, I hope you remember this. Never beg for consistency. Never beg for honesty. Never beg for love. The right person won't make you wonder where you stand. They'll make it obvious. And until that person comes along, protect your peace, because peace is worth so much more than chasing someone who only loved the attention you gave them.